What's up, guys, and welcome to Trendy Talk Podcast. My name is Amy Lauren. I'm a fitness influencer living in Mallorca with various businesses in the health and wellness industry. On today's episode, be prepared to be inspired. Today, we celebrate the incredible journey of a woman who is courageously taking charge of her health and shredding up to a third of her body weight. She has made a remarkable transformation. She's now living her best life, showing us all that age is just a number. She's the woman I get to proudly call my mum. It's Jennifer!
That was lovely. That was so nice to hear.
I know I didn't tell you my intro, Mum.
I know you didn't. And I didn't want to know.
Yes, I know. It's nice. It's really true. You are an inspo and I can't wait to share this. And I also want to say thank you for sharing this because not many people would be comfortable sharing it. So it's my mum's second time on the pod.
Yeah.
Yes, we invited her back. The first podcast, if you want a laugh, it's about our pet peeves, which we could talk about for hours.
A long time. We could have 2 or 3 podcasts about that. Actually.
We could just have the whole thing about that. But we're not gonna do that to you. So for those that don't know, my mum has made this huge transformation. We're going to put so many pictures in this podcast. She has went from 95 kilos to 65 kilos.
Yeah, that's correct.
That is 60, 70, 80, 90, 30 kilos difference.
Yeah.
Wow. Mm-hmm. So we're going to go, before we get into it, we're going to zap into about 20 years ago. Okay. So I would say 20 years ago, you were then what age?
20 years ago, I was 36.
She was 36. What age would I have been then? So I'd been like
12.
12.
Yeah.
So, exactly. Perfect. I remember the age of 12.
Mm-hmm.
When I think about my mum, we were living in Scotland. I remember there was always a diet going around.
Always.
I remember you had like the Atkins diet book, or there was a book that you had.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was
I even remember one book that was orange. I don't know what that was. It was like bright orange.
The thing is, there was so many. I did whatever fad was going at the time.
So what diets have you been on?
I've done, the first one I did was when I was 15 years old. And it was run by the BBC. And they produced a book and a TV programme. And it was on like every night for like 15, 20 minutes. And it was, giving you tips and this and that. And I was 15. And I remember I lost half a stone on that.
But hold on a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Like a 15-year-old telling me that now, I would be like, not okay, but I would be like, okay, that's kind of, let's say, normal. Like we hear that a lot. But a 15-year-old back in...
You're looking at 40 years ago.
40 years ago,
mm-hmm.
That's like insane.
Yeah.
So were you like heavy as a child or?
Not really. What the thing that made me different to other kind of girls of my age in my class at school was that I was very tall.
Right.
I was like the tallest in my class. So from the age of, I think probably from about the age of 10, 11, I was the tallest in the class. I was even taller than some boys.
Right.
And it made me kind of feel big.
Oh my God, this is
And I
insane.
wasn't. Looking back now at pictures, I look at myself and I think.
So were you
normal.
like weighing yourself at 15?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think actually either a birthday or a Christmas present might have been scales.
What the fuck? Oh my God, you can't do that.
Honestly.
Okay, can you say who it was that bought you them?
It was probably your grandma.
Oh my God, Grandma, what's wrong with you? You don't buy someone scales for Christmas. Fuck. Or a birthday, like.
Yeah, honestly, and I remember.
Oh my God, my grandma's a lovely person, and I could have
asked
obviously
for them.
Wasn't,
I can't remember.
Maybe.
But it wasn't a a malicious or a malice thing
No.
that was being done. It wasn't, you better watch
No,
yourself,
no,
get
no,
on
no,
those
no, no,
scales.
no. But you can't be doing that.
It wasn't anything like that. But I just remember and it was a daily thing, and I know that's ridiculous, weighing yourself daily, because, that's a whole different ball game. But yeah, the first diet was when I was 15.
Then with Atkins, what else have you been on?
Atkins, Weight Watchers, Scottish Slimmers,
I remember
Cambridge diet.
I remember Weight Watchers, that you would go to that, and I remember like the points and all that bullshit.
Oh, that was Rosemary Connolly. That was another diet as well.
I remember that. That was a woman. Did you not see her or meet her or something?
Yeah, well, what it was your grandma and I both went to that, because your grandma was wanting to lose weight, and I thought, well, we could do it together. And it was actually quite a nice diet in that
there was a community behind it.
Yeah, and also they did an exercise class with it. So it wasn't just a case of going, get weighed in, or everybody's going, oh, you put on 2 pounds, No, it was a kind of exercise as well. So that was a good one. The reason we stopped that one was the girl that ran it actually gave it up. She moved and she couldn't do it anymore. So
I have to say though one thing.
Yeah.
We have to say, and I'm sure you won't mind me saying this,
Mm-hmm.
my mum and I have came from, let's say, a toxic relationship.
Yes.
So who could that be? So I think that toxic relationship, we are talking about my father. I remember him being like, right, how much weight have you lost? I even remember him like measuring you.
He actually, yes, he did do that, but also it was worse than that. He used to take me to the pharmacy when we moved here, and some pharmacies have got, the scales, and they take your height and your weight and blah, 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 and then they print out a ticket, and he would keep that ticket and staple it inside his file of facts, and each week I had to go again, and it was compared to what was last week.
So you were like his little project.
Yeah, but it was horrible. It was
but not in a nice way.
churning and everything. It was
and
horrible.
I remember very vaguely, like, even when you were going to those Weight Watchers things in Scotland, I remember my dad would be like, so how much have you lost this week? And I think like they would announce it in the class, and would you get a prize if you like lost weight or something?
No, it was things like they had like a card that you kept.
Yes.
And he wanted to see the card.
All right, buddy, you haven't lost fucking 30 kilos.
No,
so anyways, I just wanted to say that that's also something that, I mean, I suffered from an eating disorder, so it's like no wonder, because I was surrounded by that as a child. But I'm not blaming my mum on that, but there was from that toxic relationship, there was definitely,
I think what it was there was an unhealthy relationship with food in the house, and that was, whether it was, trying to lose weight or eat healthy or something like that, there was just this relationship where it wasn't healthy, it wasn't good, and it wasn't normal. I mean,
I don't remember as a child really like having, I don't know, like a toxic relationship with food, but I always heard it, and obviously I was super skinny, but I would always hear,
but you would be hearing it. That's the thing. You
that
pick
was the
up
thing.
on it.
That was the thing.
That's it.
Right. So we've done all the diets under the sun.
Basically. Mm-hmm.
And did you used to go to gym in Scotland before moving here?
Yes. But I was very good at joining gyms. If there was a gold medal or a gold star for joining a place, I'm ace at it.
Got it.
Excellent. Wasn't so good at keeping up the thing. I would have all these unrealistic goals, and I would realise that I was right, I'm joining this gym, and I'm going to go 5 days a week, and I'm going to do so many classes, and I'm going to lose X amount of weight, and very quickly that didn't happen. And then I would lose interest in it, and then I would be paying for memberships for gyms. I don't know how many thousands, and I mean thousands of pounds I've wasted. on these memberships and never going.
Yeah.
You know, but also there was this thing in my head, oh, I'm a member of a gym, therefore by association I will lose weight because I'm a member of a gym.
Because I'm trying. Oh, I've made the first step. I've joined. I think many people, when they're wanting to do a weight loss, or if it is a serious amount of weight, there is the big, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And it's like, no, you're not.
No,
like,
you're not.
Let's be
unrealistic.
Real. So I always ask people, like, realistically, or, you hear people, that's it, I'm not eating sugar anymore. I'm not going to, and it's like, but you are. Like, that's not, anyways. Yeah. So, we've moved to Mallorca. We moved to Mallorca, how long ago? Like 20
2004.
2004,
yeah,
so...
Oh, 2005, actually, we moved permanently, yeah.
Right, so 20 years ago.
Well, more or less, yeah. Just
so, in that change, what happened then with your body insecurities, with your weight journey? Were we still on diet?
Living here, it seemed to... It almost like highlighted it more because you think of the lifestyle that you have here. You're going out to the beach, it's hot, you ain't wearing like big jumpers, I was very good at the big jumper routine. I loved winter in Scotland because I could hide under a mountain of clothes and nobody would notice because it's winter and it's cold. Whereas here, you couldn't do that, and you're on the beach and just to die, I just think, oh, please, let's not have a day at the beach. And
I mean, you were saying when you were younger, you were like, let's say normal weight, like 15, all of that. Was there then, did you put on weight for me?
The first time I put on weight...
I had a child, Lauren, so I put on
Well, I'll give you a funny story. So, yes, I had you when I was 23.
That's nuts.
I know. I was 23. And of course you do put on weight when you have a baby. And I remember I went on the scales it must have been a week after I had you. And I expected the scales to go right back down to where I was before. And of course, that's not the way it happens. It doesn't happen like that. And I was so disappointed. I thought, oh my God, if the baby's out, the water's all away, blah, blah, blah. Why isn't my weight down? So that seed's sown. Then I did lose weight and I went back down to my kind of normal weight. And it just slowly crept up.
But I do think a big part of that was because the toxic relationship at home.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't allowed to buy biscuits in the house, but I could buy them, but only for him.
Yeah.
I wasn't allowed to eat them.
That. I also remember him saying one time, just eat whatever she's eating, meaning me. So my mum had to eat what I was eating. And I was like, 12, eating sometimes pasta, having, just like a normal 12-year-old. And my dad was wanting my mum to eat exactly what he was wanting you to eat exactly.
But, the other thing that he did was as well, if I remember there was one Christmas and I was told before we went to the Christmas dinner that I was not going to be eating roast potatoes.
Oh my God, thought, give it up.
And if I put a potato on my plate, I get asked, what were you thinking when you had that potato on your plate?
Oh my God.
And I felt the same to well, I was thinking about eating it because that's what you normally do when something's on your plate.
No, that's just like,
and
you can't.
And it was all that tension and it was across the table I would get the...
Yeah, no.
That kind of stuff, that I wasn't to eat. And, it even pulled people up if they offered me anything,
I remember that. He'd be like, don't be offering her that.
Do you
She's
know
on a diet.
I'll tell you another one. I don't know if you were aware of this one. I had a hysterectomy when I was 35.
I was aware of that.
And I was in hospital. And my friend Carol's daughter, Hayley, had wanted to buy me something. And when she was at the checkout in the supermarket, there was a small little box and it had 4 or 5 after 8 mints in it. And Hayley bought them and said to her mum, give them to Jennifer. You want to hear what I got for those 5 after 8s? I never even ate them, by the way. I never got to eat them. They get whipped away from me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, guess what we're going to do after this? Well, I won't because I'm doing a bikini fitness competition, but we're buying some fucking after eights.
And we're eating more than 5.
And we're having the whole box each. Fuck that. So, going back to Spain.
Yeah.
Gym.
Yeah.
I know that you remember the gym.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy going to the gym? No.
Hated it.
Why?
Because I was made to get a trainer.
Right.
And nothing against the trainer. Nice woman, and she tried her best and everything. We did food diaries and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, we would go once a week and do a weigh-in, and she told me like the body fat and things like that. But again, I had him up my ass, you know. But I was going to the gym, but I was doing things that I didn't enjoy doing. It wasn't things that I wanted to do. So
did you not enjoy doing the weight training?
No.
You liked doing classes?
I liked classes.
Yeah.
I liked the kind of dance. Like they had a body pump, body step.
The steps, she like. I remember, so basically my mum went to the local gym here in Mallorca and I ended up working at that gym. And I remember I was sometimes in the classes, but not really. I went through like my phase of doing like the step class and all that crap. Yeah. Well, it's not crap, but now I can't deal.
I couldn't do it now.
No. I had to shoot a video the other week for Mega Sport Gym and they wanted me to do all their classes. And I was like, this is memory lane, or the body combat and body pump. And I was just like, I'm so not into this anymore. No. Like, it's not my vibe. But when my mom would be at the gym, I would be like, the classes would be in a different room. And if I was like in the weight training room doing like probably running on the running machine, and you would hear the classes going on, and I would be like, I wonder if mum's in that class. And then you would just hear like some women going like, woo! And I was like, yeah, my mum's in that class because she's the one screaming all the time. But yeah, I think you had fun doing that, didn't you?
I had great fun doing them. I really enjoyed them. I looked forward to going to those classes and everything. And sometimes I would do back-to-back classes, depending, you know. But again, I was more doing that because I enjoyed it.
I think you were doing it for your mental health.
Exactly. And the sort of social side of it, because you were with other women and you would, when like one exercise was finished and you were maybe having your drink of water and you would,
chit chat. I know.
Chit chat.
But that's really funny that you say that. I've never realized this, but I don't know if you remember when he would say to me, oh, she prefers going to the gym than going to play golf. Or you're putting too much energy in the gym, like me.
Yeah.
You're putting too much energy in the gym. You should be putting that energy into your golf. And it's because at the gym, I didn't have him breathing down my neck. I could put on my music.
Yeah.
And I would just go on the running machine. I mean, I was like 16, 17. Like I wasn't doing like big weights or anything. But I think it was that. It's like more just for your mental health and being like, just let me
I don't think I realised that's what I was doing at the time.
Me neither.
But looking back on it now, that's what I was doing. Yeah. Because it was an escapism.
You were in that room, no one was looking, no one was judging. Exactly. You were, going like, woo woo, whatever.
It's in my zone,
So basically, my mom then got really inspired by people like Kelly Osbourne. Yeah. Arj from Tawi. I don't even know Arj's second name.
It's James Argerton.
All right, well, mum knows.
Of course I know.
So, and other influential people that I'd had, it was like a gastric sleeve. And my mum had read up about this and kind of done her research, and they inspired you and kind of supported your idea of doing this operation.
Yeah, I think, to be honest, what happened was I went to see a doctor and we were discussing sort of different things, and I was explaining to him about the yo-yo dieting that had been going on for so long. Mm-hmm. And I said, Well,
I was with you then.
I remember you were with me. And I had already started my research. Yeah. And I kind of asked the question of him.
But he kind of, basically, if we're talking about the same doctor.
Uh-huh.
We've been to a few. That he said, I've got a nutritionist and he can do a nutrition plan. And I was just like,
going to stop you right there.
She's not going to do this.
No.
Like we'll do it for a
there. Week and then that'll just fall
I was like,
away.
we've been there. We need a different idea. And then he was like, well, there is this gastric sleeve.
And I then produced it and I said, you mean this?
Yeah.
And he went, yeah.
We're going to take a small break from Trendy Talk, guys, to let me introduce you to Coco's Deli, a beautiful little deli in the heart of Puerto Portales, Mallorca. This healthy cafe does amazing coffees, lattes. It's there for your breakfast, brunch, and lunches. There to cater for gluten-free and vegan, and of course, that famous matcha latte. See you soon.
And that was, he didn't do it.
No.
But he recommended the doctor here that did do it.
Yeah. And
from when I got my initial appointment, and they do an assessment, and they take your weight, they take measurements and everything like that. And I can't remember exactly what your BMI is meant to be, but I sort of fell in that band, and he said, you're a candidate for it. And he said that the weight loss would be between 13 and 25 kilos.
Brilliant.
Very specific numbers, but that was what it was. And from when I got that initial appointment to having the operation was 3 weeks.
Yes. So my mum, I think, were you nervous? Yeah, you were always nervous before this one. But I'm there to hold the hands through the surgeries, and I'll pick her up and take her to the hospital and all of that. It's my mum, so I researched the hell out of this doctor. Like, I was like, I want to know where your family is. I want to know where you're living, buddy. Because it's my mum, and what I liked about him, it was like literally what he does, you know?
That's all, yeah,
and
exactly. It's his bread and butter.
Yeah, so that's super important. Took mum to the hospital. Mum also said to me, like, what do you think? What do you think? Oh, and my mum was like, I'm paying for it. That's it. It's done. I'm doing it. And then near the time, it was like, no, wait, should I? And I was there, always the one. I'm like, Mum, this is going to be life-changing for you. It's going to change your life. You've got this. I'm going to be there. Nothing's going to go wrong. We've got the right doctor. Okay. And then like 2 days later, it was like, I'm not sure. Should we do this? And I was like, Mum, we've been through this. So it wasn't something that was like super easy.
No, I didn't take it lightly.
She didn't go running into the hospital.
We did do a lot of research into it, and I think having other people, you know, like you said, like Kelly Osborne's had it done, and you know, James Arterton had it done 6 weeks before me, and that kind of gave me a little bit more
of a gauge.
Yeah, because then I could see how, because he was very honest, and he put his journey on his Instagram as well, and I could see, right, well, in 6 weeks' time, that's going to be me.
Yeah.
And then in 6 weeks' time, that's going to be me. So it was almost like I was going that journey with him, but I was just 6 weeks behind.
Thanks, Arj. Talking of Arj, come on the pod.
Yeah.
We want you on Trendy Talk. I would love to have him on Trendy. And you would love that.
I know, I would.
So basically, my mum went in for the operation. Tell us about the operation, what exactly it is.
So basically what happens is there is 2 cameras go in, and there's another incision is made as well, and this is where the stomach is removed from. So with me, there was 4/5 of my stomach was removed, so I'm left with 1/5 of what you have.
Oh my God, that's nuts.
I know. It is basically just a sleeve.
Right.
So if you look at your stomach, it's like a D. It's like the letter D, a capital D. Mine is cut straight down, so that bit is taken away. So it's a very drastic operation. There's no going back. It's not like, oh, I'll reverse it. There are other operations that they have, like gastric bands, and these can be reversed, but mine can't be reversed. Once it's gone, it's gone.
Scarring.
I have a minimal scar. It's like that size. It's tiny.
So I went to the hospital after Mum's operation. They called me, said everything was good. That was fine. I went, and I'm not going to lie to you guys. She didn't look very good when I came into the room. Oh my God, I got such a fright. And she was white. And I was like, Mom, I was like, you're looking great. Like, you've done amazing. I was like, the doctor said you did so. And she was like, really? And I was like, yeah, you've done really good. And I was like, oh my God, like, she's so white. And I remember, like, I got like a wet cloth and kind of like brushed her hair and
That's
like
right,
made
you
her feel a
did.
bit
You
better, brought her flowers. I was like, but I was really like, fucking hell, like, I hope that she gets some color back in her face. I remember being like, holy shit. But then we got you back home, and I am understanding, however, I am quite hard. I was like, right, Mum, get up, let's go for a walk. You must do this. And she's like, right, okay. Oh my God, I've just, lost half of my stomach, Lauren. And I'm like, no, come on, let's do this. And I believe, like, if you have that, of course, like if she was really in pain or something, I would say like, no, of course she's got to rest. But I think the doctor said you've also got to walk. Like,
Yeah, that's the thing.
it was
You've
like
got to get
half
up and
an
get,
hour or something a day, or there was
yeah,
something,
you've
and
got
I
to get
was,
the mobility in
yeah, and I
and
was,
start a routine and getting back into normal life
yeah.
and everything. You
So
can't just lie
what was
down.
annoying for me was, how many years ago was this operation?
3.
3 years ago. 3 years ago, the Lauren weighed about 65 kilos and wanted to lose like 3 kilos. So I would be there. Like, I remember I went to Tahini, which is a sushi restaurant here in Mallorca, and I ordered my sushi, and then Mum was like, I'll have a bit of miso soup. And I was like, okay. If anyone doesn't know Tahini, it's quite an expensive restaurant. So I got Mum like this, I don't know, 25 euros of freaking, I don't know, of miso soup. And she literally, with a teaspoon, took 2 sips and went, I'm full. And I was like, are you joking me? She was like, I can. I can't. I'm full. And I was like, and it made me feel like a pig, because I would just be eating everything. And I was like, oh my God, I was like, what a bitch. I was a bit jealous of her. But yeah, you were eating very, very minimal. But
Yeah.
there was something, was it a week after you couldn't eat anything? It was just
You were on just, you were basically, you revert back to being a baby.
Right.
So you're on a liquid diet.
yeah.
And I had to buy these protein drinks from the pharmacy. And it came in like little cartons. And they
Like a
were
child.
like, I think it was 250 mils. And that took me all day to have one. And I was meant to have 2 a day. They give you a very strict plan because you can't introduce food too quickly.
Yeah.
Because your stomach will just basically reject it. So you have to build up, because you've got to remember, basically I have a brand new stomach.
Yeah.
And it's not used to anything. So it was things like very weak tea, water, then you built up to the protein drinks, then you moved on from there, then you started after about...
Did you have vitamins or something you'd take?
Not initially. They came in later on.
Right.
And then you start to introduce foods, and it's really slowly, it was like yogurt, but it had to be like plain yogurt. It couldn't be like loads of flavours or something like that. And you just slowly build up, and it takes about 3 months till you're on a normal diet.
She still doesn't eat normally.
No, but
she eats.
I do.
Right. So from operation day to a year later, how much weight did you lose in 1 year?
The year I lost, well, I remember when I got to 13 kilos, I thought, because I remembered the doctor saying 13 kilos, and I thought, I'll be really happy if I get to that. The first week, I lost 4 kilos in the first week. And then when I got to about 13 kilos, I thought, this is great. I've reached the goal. That's fantastic. And then little by little, because the weight, it stops, you do lose, but not as quickly, and it's not as much. So I think in the first year, I had lost about 23, and then just after the year it was about 25 kilos. So
okay, so in 1 year you've lost 25
kilos, yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
So that's right, you did 25. So now, how is your, like, we want to talk about skin. So do you feel like your skin has like changed, like in your face? Do you feel more glowy? Do you feel I don't
Yeah,
know.
I feel more youthful.
Yeah.
And I feel that I'm not carrying that. I look at pictures of myself, from before, and I think, God, you look tired. You look old. Because the skin is different. And now I just feel it's more youthful.
Fresh.
Fresh. That's
Yeah.
a good way to describe it. Fresh.
My mum is looking fresh as you are. And also, do you feel like things are easier to do?
Oh, yeah. I'll give you a laugh. Like last week, David and I went to Portocristo and we went to the caves of Drac. And you go into the caves and you're walking down and then it's nice. And then you have to come out and there was steps. And I thought of you. I got to a point and I thought, I would have been breathing out my ass climbing this, because I'm thinking, I always try and picture 30 kilos.
I know.
And I'm taking that with me.
I know, it's nuts.
I would have had to stop, get a breather, have some water, kidded on. I was taking a picture of something, anything just to give me that rest.
Yeah.
So yes, massive.
I remember I took you to the cathedral in Cologne.
Do you remember
And
that?
my mum got to the top of
dying.
those stairs and she was wet as a dog. She was just drenched in sweat. And you took
running down
fucking ages. I think I waited for you like 20 minutes.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember it was 700 steps and it took me about an hour and you sprinted up them,
So
maybe not an hour.
After, we've lost 25 kilos.
Yeah.
We're feeling good. We're feeling useful.
Yeah, feeling fresh.
So, new clothes.
Well, this is the problem with the weight loss journey. You have the weight loss,
Yeah.
but you've still got this. And I've got to remember that I'm 25 kilos less. I still buy the wrong size clothes.
Yeah.
I look in the mirror and, in fact, I'm very bad at that. I actually don't look in the mirror. That's part of the problem. I automatically, if I go into a store, go to the large or the extra large, buy it, bring it home, try it on. It hangs like a sack.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, God, again,
Yeah, you got to change it.
And I've got to go and change it,
Got to get you a whole new wardrobe.
A whole new wardrobe.
Well, you kind of have, haven't you?
I have now. I have.
Yeah.
Everything's now gone.
I mean, that's one thing. I mean, I haven't had a weight loss like my mum, but I've lost 10 kilos.
You've lost 10, yeah.
That's nuts. So, yeah, of course, like there is things that I'm like, that's too big, it's so annoying.
It is annoying.
Especially things that you really like, and then you're like, it just looks like shit on me now.
I know. And you can't even alter like everything because it just loses its look and it just looks ridiculous.
You're going to spend more money on alterations than you are on new clothes.
Exactly,
So here we come.
Yeah.
Revolve.com. So do you feel like your energy levels are like also up?
Oh,
I mean,
greatly.
I had a healthy cafe in Germany when you weighed
before.
the 95 kilos. How do you feel now working then to now?
I've got so much more energy.
Yeah.
I mean, like when we were in Germany, I was exhausted.
Yeah.
I was absolutely knackered. It just drained me because I was lugging all that weight about. I just didn't even see it because, as I say, I didn't look in mirrors. And now I feel like a brand new person.
Yeah.
I feel like, a spring chicken. I feel like,
So my mum lost the 25 kilos and then probably about 8 weeks ago, she just said to me she was like, I just want to lose a bit more weight. I just don't feel like my 100%. And I was like, okay, well, we got to change things up. Obviously, I spent a lot of time with my mum. We worked together, so I could also see what she was eating. And the good thing is, my mum still goes to the gym. You go like 2, maybe 3 times a week.
I go 3 times a week because that's realistic.
Yeah.
That was another thing. That was a game changer as well. Being realistic about it and sort of saying, right, stop saying you're going to go 5 times a week because you ain't.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? I'm going to do 3 times a week. Right.
One time a week, she has her personal trainer.
Shout out to Mark.
Big Mark.
Love Mark.
Would you ever consider doing classes again?
I'm I'm not against it, but to be honest, I actually enjoy what I'm doing with Mark.
Oh, all right, Mark.
I know.
We love Mark.
Is
He's so
barking,
nice.
Yeah, he's so good. And
so Mum does weight training now.
And I really enjoy what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's great.
And I think because he's given me exercises that I can do when I'm not with him.
Yeah.
And I will do them.
No, like the other day I was in the gym and my mum was like, I was like, all right, Mum. And I think, were you even wearing a set that used to be mine?
No, but it was similar to one that you had.
Because wouldn't have that have been a dream so many years ago? Like my mum having the same clothes size as me at the gym at the same time as me. Amazing. We've got to do a mum-daughter workout.
Definitely.
There you go. That's going to come. Definitely we'll do that for my Instagram.
Yeah, we will do that.
So basically I said to Mum, okay, let's make like not a nutrition plan because I didn't, want to do that. Like my mum's not going to follow that. She's also at the age, she's like, I just want to enjoy my life as well. Mum does like her chocolates, just a little bit too much. For example, in the morning it was like, okay, I'm going to have granola and I'm going to top it with chocolate. And then I'm going to have a little chocolate, something in the afternoon. Then at night I'll have a bit of chocolate. And I was like, you can enjoy that, but why don't we just like, make it more balanced and have it on the weekends? My mum needs something that are more protein based, someone like my mum, where she's not burning the amount of calories that I'm burning. She doesn't need so much carbohydrates. I don't even need granola. So why would my mum need granola? It's not something that's like, oh, porridge. It's maybe slow release and you could add maybe a scoop of whey protein just to get your protein in. So, something like to start her day off with eggs, even now in Coco, she'll have a shake, she'll have a smoothie. Because sometimes it's not possible to get food in because of the work gets busy. And that's one of the huge key things is I did say to you, I said, realistically, what is it you can consume when working? And the easiest thing was a smoothie, a shake. Yeah. Now, even if that smoothie doesn't have protein in it, at least my mum is not going to have such a big drop in her sugar levels that when she does go home, the first thing that she's reaching for is that chocolate bar. She's going to go home, feel satisfied and can make a smart decision. And that is like a huge, huge key is, I was even talking about it with a woman the other day and she was like, oh, like I do eat good, but I do like the sweets and, I just don't have, the preparation and it's all about prep. Like right now, if I'm being super honest, today I woke up at 6. I went training. I went from training to work to check everything was okay at work. We had a new girl start. I then went to posing practice. I then went to get my hair washed. Then I went back to work for a couple of hours. I came home, and if that moment when I came home I didn't have food prepared, that's just like, that's reach for, I mean, I don't have sweet stuff at home, but you start making the bad decisions. After that, I had my lunch, was like chicken, veggies, potatoes. Then I filmed a podcast and I did matcha shooting. Now I'm on to my second podcast. Am I hungry now? Yes. But I know I've got in the fridge my right meal. I've got another batch of chicken, another veggies, potatoes. I have a protein shake that I absolutely love with some peanut butter and I'm done for the night. And it's about having those preps. And there's never excuse of like, I just don't have the time to stop. And it's like, you can have a nice smoothie, you can have a nice juice prepared, just something that is like wholesome to get you to that next stage.
Exactly. And I think when you introduced me to that sort of, eating plan, a sort of, it is that mindset thing again that you have to kind of change.
Yeah.
And it was so funny because without even realising it, I did exactly what you said, like having the eggs and like having the protein shake. And then by the time I got home, I was just, ready for my dinner at night. And then it was, time to bed and that's me kind of thing. I was about 2 weeks and I suddenly realised I hadn't ate any chocolate.
There you go.
So, and it was somebody else that said something and I thought, wait a minute, I've not had any I've not eaten any chocolate, but I didn't want to eat it. And it's exactly what you're saying. It's that kind of having, something that's giving you that energy, that's giving you that, sweetness, that little bit of something, but not sitting down and going, oh, I'm craving it.
Yeah.
And then, or in my case, I think a lot of the time was I was just eating it, it was
It's also
mindlessly.
it's also a habit as well. So my mum, following Miss Just Amy Lawrence instructions, has lost another 5 kilos.
Yes.
So in total, 30 kilos.
That's where we're 30 is.
That's where we're at now. Another tip, and I'm not just saying this because we do sell them, but...
Oh, that's a big one.
And I'm sorry. Seeing the first podcast, my mum was making fun of Stanley Cups. My mum now has a Stanley Cup.
Mm-hmm.
This is a huge game changer. I recently had a very nice party and I gave all of my guests a Stanley Cup. And do you know how many girls have said to me, oh my God, this is such a game changer. So welcome to my world.
Because the thing is, what I love about it now is, after slagging them off and everything, is that I can fill it, and every time I go to it, it's still cool,
yeah,
and chilled.
I've got ice in mine.
I put ice in mine as well, and I keep it at work. I keep it next to me, and
you just grab.
But whereas if it's a glass of water, I won't go to it because the heat, and it tastes horrible and it puts me off it, and I don't want. But that has been a game changer as well.
I have always said one of my biggest nutrition tips is get yourself a water bottle that you love. Always have it with you. Always have it filled with water, or you can add a little something in it.
Yeah,
also,
flavor.
Buying your vitamins in a disc form, having a flavor to it. This will help you stay hydrated. It will help you lose weight. Why will it help you lose weight? Because half of the time we're not hungry. We're actually thirsty. So next time you're like craving something, am I actually thirsty? Shit, when was the last time I drank water? Or just get yourself a Just Amy Lawrence Stanley Cup.
Exactly.
Which, while we're talking about it, it has Trendy Talk on it. It's got a matcha day, my matcha company, Just Amy Lauren, my Instagram, and Coco's Deli, my healthy cafe. And I think we've got them on sale. So I'll put a link of that in the description.
Yeah. It is. I mean, before I thought, oh, what a lot.
My mum used to slag Stanley Cups off all the time. She'd be like, oh my God, you're holding a bin with you all day.
It's like having a bucket, But it does, and as you quite rightly say, 9 times out of 10, it's that I'm thirsty, not hungry.
Exactly.
And the proof is 5 off.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much for sharing this story.
No problem, darling.
It's been amazing because not everybody would... She could have easily just said, I just lost the weight because I tried this amazing... I don't know, whatever.
Slim fast, that was another one.
I dedicated myself to the gym and all my hard work.
No, I think the reason I'm sharing with it now is because it has been 3 years, and it has been a bit of a journey in that 3 years as well, because I have had to sort of retrain my brain as well, and also there are certain foods that I can't eat and that I don't eat just because I don't.
But what do you mean by that?
Like spaghetti. I don't eat spaghetti.
I know, but you don't eat that because of your stomach.
I can't digest it. Yeah. I can't digest it. Soup is another one that I don't have.
You can't digest.
Fizzy drinks are a no-no with this surgery.
But I have to say, there's people that have paid for all the surgery in the world. They're still not happy with their body. They're still eating the wrong things. My mom is an example of, yes, she's had the sleeve. Yes, she's used that way, but she's also complemented it with the right diet. If she doesn't complement it with that, she's living a much, much, much healthier lifestyle mentally and physically. And then, of course, she's going to get the results that she wants. So thank you so much, Mum.
You're welcome.
Both of us hope this podcast inspired you and helped you in some ways. And yeah, we'll see you at the next one, guys. So stay trendy and see you for the next one. Bye.
Bye.